shared with you 90 days ago. Now we're about 60 days out, and the changes are happening so rapidly, it's unbelievable. But the issue is, people are focused on price, not what's actually happening. You have to look at the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Trump's executive director, Bo Hines, literally testifying, says they're trying to buy as much Bitcoin as possible in a budget-neutral way. And I shared with you guys how I believe this is going to happen. Is they're going to revalue gold. They're just going to do an accounting measure. They're going to take that profit and they're going to move the profits into Bitcoin, which is a deflationary asset with a fixed supply of 21 million and only 5% of supply is left. What has happened is because of the inflationary US dollar is our buying power has just been sucked out of our income. So if you don't beat 2% inflation every single year, you become poor. And I'm telling you, I'm warning you, the wealth gap is going to be massive. Do your research. Now, this is exactly what I did. You have to do your own research. But like CZ said from Binance, somebody who owns 0.1 Bitcoin is the new American dream. Where owning a home used to be the American dream. Because they're about to lower interest rates and turn this printing machine on full blast, which is going to make these markets fly. Now remember, 10% of the population owns 80% of equities in the market. 50% of the US is buried in debt. They don't even own stocks. So the wealth gap is going to become massive. You don't understand how to move from inflationary US dollar, which every year, if you don't invest properly or grow that money, you become poor because everything is debt. And so why do I keep saying the next 60 days? The Genius Act passed. It's now heading to Trump's desk. He just did a deal with China. I told you guys the deal is going to hit with China. We're going to go into July. July is going to be very favorable. And then I believe August, things are really going to start to ramp up. And on the back end of this year, these markets are going to fly. You're going to have a trade deal with China. You're going to see a bunch of trade deals come in. Countries are feverishly going to be working to copy what America's doing with their Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's not by chance that the Ripple case is lasting this long. It's all by design. Your banks are going to be working very, very diligently to get the crypto rails in place to custody your crypto. And the reason why people aren't getting in is because of all the FUD. They told you it's used for money laundering. They told you it's a fraud. If it's used for money laundering and it's used for fraud, then why is 95% of the Bitcoin supply gone? 5% is left. And 95% of the public doesn't have exposure to it. So who holds this? The elites. BlackRock, number 2 holder outside of Satoshi. Strategy B, Grayscale, and America. All American companies in America, and China's number 6 outside of Satoshi. So mark my word, you're about to see complete, clear regulation for banks to get involved in crypto. Your asset managers are going to be coming to you in the very near future, in the next 12 months, and they're going to be asking you to allocate some of your portfolio into things like Bitcoin, I believe XRP, probably Ethereum, Solana. You're going to see an XRP ETF get approved, and things like Bitcoin, XRP, Solana are going to be the new oil families. That's what I believe, but I practice what I preach. That's what I do. I don't store my money in a dollar that literally makes me poor every single year if I don't beat inflation. I take my hard-earned money and I transmute it from inflationary to deflationary fixed supply assets. When those fixed supply assets profit, I pull profit off the table and I de-risk down into things like insurance that have been here since the Roman days. First annuity was in the Roman days. Study tax code 7702A. Understand how the wealthy insure their wealth as you insure your life. Study deflationary, inflationary. Study fixed supply assets. Study what the wealthy do in times like this. Real estate, gold, silver, crypto, insurance. So here we go, family. Lock in, buckle up, build a budget, create some cash flow, learn how to invest, learn how to take sovereignty of your wealth and empower yourself to understand this. Read the book Richest Man in Babylon, study the wisdom of King Solomon, cash flow quadrant, and lock and load. Get your health in order, get your mindset in order, build a relationship with God, family, and protect your ecosystem at all costs. I love you guys. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you.